What is it, Faedwin? And do be concise. I'm rather busy. You would lend a hand, you say? I see. Well, now that you mention it, there is a matter that wants for attention. I love this color of the crystal braves as well. Given his sensitive nature, I was hesitant to entrust it to my braves, but the demands upon my time are such that I had little choice. Which is not to say that men want for labor. Though we are but newly formed, there is already a great demand for our services, and we are hard-pressed to answer all petitions, but I digress. The fact is, I would sooner attend to this particular matter myself, but my presence is required elsewhere. That being the case, I have entrusted its resolution to my second-in-command, Captain Ilberd. Tell him that I sent you, and he will furnish you with the particulars. My thanks in advance. It's glorious. I'm sure there's like a clip or something. Alright, so you were talking to me, Ilberd. Yeah, you can post a clip in chat, sure.
These are welcome tidings indeed. Given the sensitive nature of the task, I could not rely on one of my own. That which I'm about to tell you, I tell you in the
Ooh, we're getting all kinds of secrets. You want to hear one of the most I was gonna say adult statements ever, but that sounds like it's much spicier than I'm actually gonna say. Boring adult statements ever. I would love a pen, a G2 pen specifically, that has ink in this color. I know that's boring. I know that's a very boring sentence. But it's still true, okay? So I felt like I had to share that with you all. I saw someone set up an automated rotisserie spit for Koroks.
Documents from an anonymous source. They notified us of the presence of a Garlean agent within the ranks of one of the Grand Companies. Following some discreet inquiries, we identified a suspect among the Immortal Flames, whom we detained for... Alas, the man was not our agent. He was but one of many men in the agent's employ. We pressed the traitor for a name, but he had none to give. He claims never to have met his master, whom he knows only as the Ivy.
The Ivy?
He was, however, certain that this Ivy had coiled itself around every part of the Immortal Flames. It would seem our quarry joined the company some time ago, and gradually recruited others to his cause. These conspirators are the vines by which he learns our secrets, all without exposing himself. It won't be easy to identify the Ivy amidst this tangled mass of subterfuge. But we have a tendril in our hands, and we shall follow it all the way to the gnarled root.
Ooh.
Now, much as I would prefer to proceed with due discretion, circumstances demand that this matter be settled post-haste. Garlemald's War of Succession nears its end, and it is feared that the Empire will soon resume its march on Eorzea. When it does, we can ill afford to have traitors in our midst. The Ivy must be rooted out now. We must begin by apprising General Roban of our findings. I would ask that you accompany me to the Hall of Flames, and remain on hand to see that things go smoothly. Assuming the Ivy's tendrils are as widespread as we believe, he will be aware that an investigation is underway, and if that is the case, he may well move against us. We must be prepared for anything, while taking care not to betray our purposes by seeming prepared. A simple enough task for a one-woman army like you.
Am I finally getting to the end, Fang? I've been trying so hard to get to Heavensward. So hard. Welcome in. Every time I start, I title it like, At the End of A Realm Reborn. Nope, there's more. Getting close to the end of A Realm Reborn. Nope, there's more. I think I'm getting there. Almost Heavensward. Nope. Here's Ramu. I gotta fight. I've been told... Thank you, Fang. I've been told there's a lot to it. The funny thing is, though, I have Encyclopedia Eorzea, the lore book. 1 and 2, actually. And I've gotten to the point where like I've read up to what's happened to me in game, and I'm like, well, crap. Now I can't read any further because I don't want to spoil anything of what's going to happen in game. So like that's kind of pushing me to get back to playing this more thoroughly, so I can continue reading the damn book. But welcome in, Safi. Welcome in, Vang. Great to see y'all. Hope you are doing well.
Well, what brings you here, my
Blue Eyes White Boomer, hello, welcome
She is
in.
here at my behest. Greetings,
What are you
Roban.
saying in this beautiful blue outfit?
Hilbert, you old scoundrel. When they told me you'd be visiting, I scarce believed my ears. But look at you, the honored captain of the Crystal Bloody Braves. Who'd have imagined, eh?
Not many, but fewer still would have imagined your destiny lay in politics, old
Aye.
friend.
We've both come far, have we not? Lest you wonder, Hilbert and I go back a long way. We've been friends and rivals since we were lads. The last time we saw each other, Alamigo had just fallen, so you can guess how many summers it's been. And in all that time, not a word
Ah, well,
from
my dealings tended toward the modest and mundane, unlike some I could mention. As I hear it, no sooner did you reach Thanalan than the brass blades clapped you in irons and dragged you off to die on the blood sands. Being a stubborn sort, you won 1,000 matches and earned yourself a place in the people's hearts while you were about it.
I hate that society is where it is now as far as like lingo and all. Because I read that as I hear it, no sooner did you reach Thanalan that the brass blades clapped your cheeks, and I knew that was not going to say that, but my brain was just like talking about booty, talking about clapping cheeks. I hate that whenever I see clap now, I think clapping cheeks. Why are we the way we are?
Then, with your mountain of prize money, you bought the Colosseum and secured a seat on the Syndicate. Those balls, brother! Rags to riches does not do it justice. You're a hero to the common man.
Balls Balls sounds like an AC/DC song.
Spare me. I am no hero. If anyone is worthy of that title, it's our friend here. Next to her, I'm little more than a glorified butcher. But you, Hilbert, you sell yourself short. By all accounts, you were an adventurer of some standing.
I like to think that I did my part for the greater good.
Yeah,
But
Jonathan.
if you're no hero, then I'm no adventurer, not in this company. Anyway. I have tidings.
So there has been progress. I've let it be known that this meeting is a reunion between old friends. None will give your visit a second thought. To convene elsewhere would only attract attention. Let us speak here, in plain view of all. So it is we who have been compromised. Teleji Adeleji's machinations have shaken Ul'dah to her foundations. In such uncertain times, a man's loyalty may be bought for a fistful of gil. But if this snake has truly been in our midst for as long as you say, we must needs consider a far graver possibility. Conspiracy. Could it be that the Monitorists have been in league with the Empire from the first? Very well. I will have my most trusted men investigate the matter. Continue your inquiries in the meantime. It does me well to see you again, old friend. When next we meet, let it be over a flagon of ale.
I look forward to it. Let us reminisce of bygone days and drink to the future of our homeland. Flame General. You wear the mantle well, old friend. I must work hard if I'm to keep up. Well, it would seem your services were not required after all. I dare say we have Roban's prudence to thank for that. Still, I was glad of your presence. My thanks, Scion.
Our hunt for the Ivy begins in earnest, Scion. Suffice it to say, we must tread warily, but one misstep may well cost us our lives. Our business here is concluded for the time being. Let's return to the Rising Stones and report to Commander Levelure. We returned from Ul'dah, Commander. And not a moment too soon. Something has happened. Trouble? You'll recall that the Fourth was tasked with reconnoitering the rendezvous site used by the Ivy's minion and his Imperial contacts. Soon after you left, we received word that the unit was ambushed en route to its destination. Gods damn it. According to the report, one of ours has been taken captive. The Garleans are not wont to treat their foemen with dignity, and I have grave fears for her safety. We must dispatch a rescue party at once. Recall those braves who are afield. Begging your pardons, Commander, but we have not the time. I'm afraid I must ask for your aid once more, Scion. An ill-prepared rescue party will only serve to provide the Garleans with more captives. Yet time is of the essence. Simply put, you are the best chance we have. Captain Ilbert has the right of it. I trust you are willing. But of course you are. Now, Alien of the Fourth lies and wait... Alien? In the Tangle, near the entrance to Castrum Sentry. Seek her out and she will apprise you of the situation. You would aid us in the rescue mission? We are in your debt, Warrior Blight. Now time is against us, so allow me to brief you on the situation. The Garleans fell upon us without warning, leaving poor Resh and hauling her away for the cache from yonder. Outnumbered as we were, it was all we could do to flee and regroup. Even as we speak, the Garleans may be interrogating Resh, or worse. With her hurts, I fear she has not long to survive their attentions. We must rescue her without delay. Our order may yet be in its infancy, but the bond that binds us is strong as mithril. None of us will stand while a comrade suffers. We, the remnants of the Fourth, will infiltrate Castrum Sentry. Please help us find Resh before it's too late. We can do without this. So that's like 30 seconds of animation. I ain't even... Alright. Alright. I wasn't even there, man. Okay. Vang, Saphir, you still here? I just found out today that they're taking away our ferry. They're taking away Selene. I don't know how I feel about that. It seems like they're converting it just to a glamour. Yes, it's completely useless now. But I remember, kind of, because people have told me and jogged my memory, that there were purposes to the two different ferries back in the day. Giving ferries the Carby glam treatment. Yeah, I remember having to use the... I swear, maybe I don't. I swear I remember, like, instant casting a ferry to get the different benefits while healing coils. Ugh, where am I? Resh, thank the gods we found you. And thank you, Warrior of Light. Now quit this cursed place. Resh cannot move with those wounds. She will need to be carried out. I believe a diversion is in order. Might we trouble you to provide one? Given your reputation, I suspect the Garleans will be only too happy to grant you their undivided attention. If you're to create a commotion within the castrum, we should be able to steal away unnoticed. Let us speak again once we are safely outside these walls. Man, I thought we killed everybody in here. They just shipped in more people to this broke-ass fortress. Thanks, Fang. I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be a lot of typing. Why am I moving out of the way? You can't target me, because I'm presumably over 10 levels over you. Oh, hell, you're running relax on Savvy's character. I sense a soul in search of answers. That's a pretty long dynamis. World travel to Aether DC. I don't even know how to do that. World travel. Ultimates, combination of hardest boss for typically weeks in memorizing and practice. Oh my god. I've waited your return most anxiously, my friend. I said that, and the character said that. You have done us a great service indeed. Thanks for your aid. To your aid, our comrade Resh is safe, and we suffer no further casualties. Words cannot well express my gratitude. As such to report the mission success of Commander Levelure, I shall go ahead to the Rising Stones. Ah, it does me well to see you thus returned. Though I doubt not your prowess, entering an enemy stronghold is generally considered to be a risky venture, and I must confess to having been a trifle anxious. But here you are, hale and whole, having succeeded in your mission as is your wont. Lest you wonder, the woman you rescued is being cared for by the Domans. Thanks to their expert administrations, danger is past. You have my gratitude. Allow me to thank you also, Scion. That shows you your life. We escaped with minimal casualties this time, but we can ill afford to be caught off guard again. Oh, sorry. It's Alphinaud. We escaped with minimal casualties this time, but we can ill afford to be caught off guard again. The Empire is not an opponent to be trifled with. As you say, Commander, I will see to it that the men keep their wits about them. And yet may yet take time, but I will not rest until I have identified and apprehended the Ivy. I have every confidence that you will succeed, Captain. As for you, Phaedwin, I realize you have scarce caught your breath, but I'm afraid there is no rest for the weary. I require that you accompany me to Kurthis. I have been granted an audience with an Ishgardian dignitary, you see, and the man expressly requested your presence. Oh, do not look so surprised. You should be familiar with the trappings of fame by now. We shall depart as soon as you are ready. We have been blessed with a rare opportunity, Phaedwin, an audience with an ambassador of the Holy See of Ishgard. We are to treat with Sir Aymeric, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, and Camp Dragonhead. It is considered a great honor to serve the Holy See directly as a Temple Knight. Needless to say, their leader wields tremendous political influence. It would be wise to court his favor. For that reason, I consider your attendance essential. If Sir Aymeric wishes to meet the woman behind the legend, I would not deny him the pleasure of your company. The antecedent should see the wisdom of this plan when you request her permission to accompany me to Kurthis. Mayhap you feel this to be a waste of your talents, which could doubtless be put to nobler use. If so, I should remind you that more good can be accomplished with the stroke of a pen than the thrust of a sword. Sorry, I'm in Philly, what do you have to say? Meeting with an Ishgardian ambassador. By all means, I think it a wonderful idea. We have received no reports of etheric disturbances or unusual beast tribe activity of late. If Alphinaud believes your presence may help him to secure more favorable terms, I see no reason to deny him. Antecedent, I take it Phaedwin has explained the situation. She has, yet welcome though these overtures are, I cannot help but wonder what prompted them. Ishgardians have spurned all contact with the other city-states for decades. Why reach out now? Would that I knew! The question of their motives is one to which I have given no small amount of thought. Alas, I know no more than is generally known. The notoriously reclusive nation of Ishgard, situated at the center of Abelathia's spine, ruled by the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, at the head of which presides the Archbishop. Members of the original Eorzean Alliance, formed in the wake of Alamigo's fall some 2 decades ago. Friends of convenience who withdrew from the Alliance as soon as the Imperial fleet was routed at the Battle of Silver-Tear Skies. Since which time their borders have remained closed to all outsiders. They have rejected every one of their former allies' call to reopen dialogue, turning a deaf ear to their neighbors' pleas even when the calamity loomed large. And on the fields of Kortrah, where brave men and women laid down their lives in defense of the realm, their banners were conspicuously absent. I have tried to convince Ishgard to rejoin the Alliance at every opportunity. I have explained over and over again that unless Eorzea stands united, we cannot hope to preserve our freedom. One by one, our nations will fall, as once fell Alamigo. And what have mine efforts yielded? Why, naught. Surely this can be considered a step in the right direction. I should hope so. Rather than the lowly messengers we have been fobbed off with in the past, this time we shall meet with a man of genuine influence. Of course, I am not so naive as to think they come to us out of the goodness of their hearts. They have something to desire, though I have yet to find out what. But such is the nature of diplomacy. They will bring their agendas to the negotiating table, and so will I, along with a handful of incontrovertible truths. The Empire will soon be at our doorstep once more. Indeed, you may be assured that I will expound upon this point and others. Let us depart for Camp Dragonhead, Faedwin. Our old friend Lord Harshfond is expecting us. Since our quest to recover the Enterprise, I understand you have further ingratiated yourself with the man. Excellent work. His fondness may prove useful to our cause. Bonjour, Harshfond. Ah, Faedwin, ever welcome sight. Our hearths have been stoked to blazing in preparation of your arrival. It would not do for such a distinguished personage to catch cold whilst enjoying our hospitality. The gesture is much appreciated. No one fucking asked you, Alphinaud. No one was talking to you. Please. ETFO. Like, the way he just, like... the scene is laid out like, alright, here's this... You know, these 2 people who work together are, you know, like, having a chat, and, like, I'm greeted warmly and everything, and he's all like, I wanted to make sure that things were right, because I respect you. And then, like, out of stage right, or whatever, Alphinaud is like, oh good, I was hoping you had a cheese platter. Like, dude, no one wants you around. Read the room. It makes me so angry. God. Okay. The gesture is much appreciated. I fear I shall ever struggle in cold climes. Ah, good Master Alphinaud. An honor as always. Likewise, Lord Harshfond. Forgive us yet another imposition. I fear we have relied overmuch on your aid, since you so generously assisted us in locating the Enterprise. Nonsense. Any debts incurred have long since been repaid. Besides, who can say what the future may bring? House Forton may even seek the aid of your newly formed Crystal Braves. In any case, I am simply delighted that the Holy See is at last willing to grant you an audience. No doubt your discoveries at Snowcloak helped justify the decision. This recent resurgence in heretical activity is of grave concern to us all. But to the matter at hand. Sir Aymeric arrived in Camp Dragonhead earlier, and I am told he is eager to meet with you at your first convenience. You are doubtless weary from your journey and desirous to rest a while by the warmth of our hearth. You are willing to forego such comforts, pray inform the knight stationed outside the intercessory. We will grant you an entrance and send word to the other attendees. As inviting as your hearth sounds, I think it best we proceed to the intercessory forthwith. No one uses these words. No one. They just put these words in here to trick me. They're like, we're not going to voice these parts. We're going to put a strange word in and watch Kortrah mess it up. Pray take your ease inside, and I shall summon the others. Proceed to the intercessory. Yeah, I thought it was a nice moment between the protagonist and him. And then Alphinaud just interjects himself because he feels like he's the main character.
Have faith, my friend. You need only state your case with confidence and clarity.
Here we go. Here we go. We're trying to have a moment, and Alphinaud's just like, yeah, please. Please. Say everything.
Commander Leveilleur, it is both an honor and a pleasure to meet you.
No, Jake. I'm very upset with this character that keeps following us around.
I am Aymeric, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights.
Alphinaud Leveilleur, at your service. Your reputation precedes you, Sir Aymeric. I think we will find that we have much in common.
Okay. Sure.
Speaking of reputations, yours towers over us all. Does it not?
It does indeed, Lord Commander.
I am not too proud to admit that I have followed your activities with an interest bordering on fascination. Full glad was I to learn that you would be joining us. Now then, shall we begin?
We know full well that the Garleans will return in force ere long. What is more, we have yet to achieve a lasting victory over the primal menace. The beast tribes continue to summon their gods, and each incarnation is stronger than the last.
Why is she pissed at Link's awakening?
Ishgard is not immune to these threats. I must reiterate that it would behoove your nation to rejoin the Eorzean alliance.
Once again, I must respectfully disagree.
On what grounds?
Despite their presence in Kurthus, the Ixal do not concern us. Their territorial claims pertain to Gridanian lands, and it is the people of Gridania whom they harry. Consequently, the Holy See judges this to be a Gridanian affair, and Ishgard does not intervene in the internal affairs of other nations. Even were that not the case, our forces are wholly committed to the Dravanian conflict. We have not the knights to spare. As for the Garleans, we are not ignorant of history. We have observed the rise and expansion of the Empire, and we agree that it is only a matter of time before they resume their campaign in Eorzea.
Then surely it would be in our best interests to present a united front.
Mayhap one day, but not yet.
Dude, I like him just because he's shutting down Alphinaud. Like, yes, this is kind of undermining the whole global resistance front that he's trying to put together. But fuck Alphinaud. I like Aymeric. I like him a lot.
Gaius van Belsar is dead, and the legion of conscripts he left behind lacks the will to fight. We think it highly unlikely that they will emerge from behind the walls of their castra for some time.
Forgive me, but if Ishgard's position has not changed, why did you agree to this meeting?
It was not only as a representative of Ishgard that I came here.
Pardon?
It is not within my power to change Ishgardian policy, regardless of my personal feelings. There is, however, one area in which I may exert a measure of influence. Concerns have been raised over the supplies House Fortin has offered to Revenant's Toll. These have led to calls for restrictions on the provision of aid to foreign powers.
I'm just now getting the joke about House Fortin. Oh, man. I didn't read into it too much because it seems like this game just picks up and drops languages however it wants to without any real meaning. But fort can in French means hard, and some use of it in temps means time. So like it in a certain translation, House Fortin means house hard times, which, you know, that's fun. Okay, you know what? I get it. Good job, me. I figured it out. It's funny. No one cares. Let's proceed.
I can ensure that the shipments continue unabated.
Sir Aymeric, we would be in your debt.
No, you would not, for I require something in exchange. Of late, there has been a flurry of
just
Dravanian
glitched.
activity, the purpose of which was not immediately clear. However, our astrologians have since observed alarming changes in the heavens. The dragon star waxes unnaturally bright, and there are whispers that it portends the resurrection of Midgard-Sorma.
What?
The fallen guardian of Silvertear Falls? That's absurd.
Full many times have I gazed upon the dragon's corpse still wound around the Agrius, and wondered how different our world might be if it yet lived to plague the skies. I do not know, and I do not wish to know, nor does any son of Ishgard. Yet the mere presence of Dravanian forces is not sufficient grounds to send knights to Mordona, whatever our astrologians say. As I told you before, we have not the forces to spare.
But we do. So you will intervene on our behalf if we agree to watch over the Keeper of the Lake.
Do you accept these terms?
I do. I will see that you are kept abreast of any developments. I regret that we could not come to a similar agreement on other matters, but I understand that you are not at liberty to make such decisions. Nevertheless, I hope that what we have accomplished here today will serve to demonstrate to your countrymen that we can work together towards a common goal. Mayhap one day we shall look back on this moment as the first step towards a united Eorzea.
Mayhap we shall, Commander.
What is the meaning of this? The caravan, my lord. It's been attacked. It was Iceheart, my lord. What? By the Fury? All our precautions were for naught?
Just when we were starting to make progress. And to make matters worse, the caravan they spoke of was bound for Revenant's Toll of all places. Honestly, were I so inclined, I would think the gods were conspiring against us. Happily, however, I am not. I would know more of this attack. Let us speak with Lord Harshfall and find out what he has learned. My sincerest apologies for the interruption, my friends, but the situation is such that we must act swiftly. If you would be so kind as to elaborate. Iceheart's heretics fell upon the caravan bound for Revenant's Toll as it was passing through Boulder Downs. It was an ambush, swift and ruthless. In an instant, every knight was slain, every crate seized. Then as quick as it had appeared, they were gone. It would be an impossible feat without knowledge of the route, knowledge to which only a select few are privy, I presume. Quite. We can pursue that avenue of inquiry in due course. Seems to me that examining the scene of the ambush should be our first concern. The trail is yet warm. We must act swiftly, as Lord Harchfond said, lest crucial evidence be lost. You have a knack for discerning hidden truths, Phaedwin. Why don't you go and inspect the ambush site in person? An excellent idea. Inform my men of your intent upon arrival, and they will gladly share their findings. Move along, adventurer. There's nothing for... Eh? Lord Harchfond bid you speak with us? Then you must be... Beg your pardon, Scion. As you can see, they left nary a crate behind. Tipped the wagon for good measure, even. Whole thing's a bit odd, if you ask me. Would have been easier to just steal it. Though a damn sight harder to conceal, I'll allow. Reckon they came prepared, probably with wagons of their own hidden way off. But pay no heed to my ramblings. Absent of proof, 'tis not but speculation. Might be as the squire receiving care of the observatorium could tell you something more factual. That is, if he's awake. Unlike myself, he was there during the attack. Not that his presence amounted to much. You've come to ask about the attack, haven't you? We came upon them before the entrance to the Hall of the Seven Echoes. Pilgrims we marked them as, lost and ill-equipped for a journey further north. Our leader called out to them, and one stepped forward to answer. Slowly she approached, her silver hair flowing in the wind like melting snow. Just a young girl, I thought, some poor lost lamb in search of salvation. Our leader must have thought the same. Else why would he let her draw so close? They exchanged some words I couldn't hear, then she leaned forward as if to kiss his cheek, and then he sighed and crumpled to the ground. I didn't know what had happened till I saw the snow turn red. Then there was red everywhere, it looked. I tried to fight, but took a blow to the head, and by the time I came to, the others were dead and the heretics were unloading the wagon. I couldn't... they'd have killed me, so I just lay still and listened. Iceheart's people spoke of deliverance and resurrection, and they spoke of Shiva. Yep. Because that sounds funny. Ah, you've returned. What news have you for us? Strong as the Master Sword? No. Seems the Lady Iceheart does not scruple to sully her hands with blood. Who's the Shiva the heretic spoke of? Have you not read a single line of the Enchiridion, Master Alphinaud? Shiva was a traitor to kith and kin, an apostate who lay down with dragons. Now, we cannot expect all foreigners to know Ishgardian scripture so well, particularly when it concerns the patron saints of heretics. Wait, you say she is their patron saint? Oh no, it all makes sense now. Lord Harchfond, what was the caravan's cargo? If I recall correctly, the Diamond Forge had requested a rather large quantity of crystals. Do you not see? Iceheart and her followers intend to summon Shiva, as a beast tribe would a primal. Why else would they go to such lengths to secure crystals? To inform the Lord Commander at once. Lord Harchfond, if you would agree the discretion is of paramount concern? Of course. I trust we can count on your continued support, Master Alphinaud. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to combat the primal threat. Our support is a given. I will need to send word to my brethren in Reverend's Toll. Our entire order must turn its efforts to the prevention of this summoning. Naturally, that includes you, though I am sure you would not miss this for the world. It's Shiva time! Alphinaud's hair is like the longest rat tail haircut ever. It really is, Palm Top. How are you? I'm so short? Wow. You know what? I could just drink a magical potion and change my appearance. So, I might have to do that to avoid all this bullying. Persistent attacks on our caravans seemed little more than a nuisance at first. The heretics were a problem, to be sure, but a relatively minor one. That was before I discerned the purpose behind their attacks, of course. Now they have my undivided attention. After apprising Manfilia of the situation, I shall summon a unit of Crystal Braves to assist us. As for you, Phaedwin, pray join me in Whitebroom Front. Since the incident of Snowcloak, the Knights of the House Durandare have redoubled their reconnaissance efforts in the region. It is my hope that they have information which may help us to determine precisely where the heretics are hiding. Given our mutual enemy, Lord Dreamwall should be eager to oblige us. I shall see you there then? Good. Scions of the Seventh Dawn wish to join in the hunt for Iceheart. Your assistance is more than welcome, my friends. Considering the report I just received, I dare say your timing could be no better. We're all ears, Lord Dreamwall. A band of pilgrims was seen transporting a large number of crates to the west. Their garb appears to match the description provided by the squire who survived the attack. I'm sorry, is his sword blue? That doesn't look like a scabbard. The sword. Sorry, I'm stroking his sword. It's like examining this. I know you can see the pointer, and I'm so sorry. But the sword itself is blue. Man, that color. It's I'm becoming obsessed with that color. Alas, our scouts lost track of them at Snowcloak, that selfsame frozen wall which we speculated might conceal the heretics' hideaway. Suffice it to say, the disappearance of these pilgrims and their provisions all but confirms our suspicions. I have heard enough. My knights will join the hunt. I took the liberty of summoning a unit of crystal braves to Whitebrim front. Given the gravity of the situation, I trust you agree that we must use every resource available to us. These are extraordinary circumstances, Commander. Be in our best interest to coordinate our efforts. Such was my intent from the start, Sir Aymeric. And so it begins, my friend, though I dare say it will prove an all too brief collaboration. Iceheart will not elude the combined forces of the Crystal Braves and the Temple Knights for long. Nevertheless, a wise man does not wager all upon the success of a single solution. There may yet be subtler means by which we can locate the heretic's lair. Mayhap Lord Dreamont has one in mind. Dragoon Blue. The Dragon Poop Blade. The Dragon Poop Blade. I'll call it Dragon Poop. Yes, yes. Excellent. My lady, everything has been accounted for. If there is aught else you would have us do, pray speak, and it shall be done. How about some pants? Seems as though we are always one step behind, our quarry ever just beyond our reach. Though I would like to believe the tables are about to turn, I must confess to having certain doubts. A joint effort may succeed where others have failed, but it could yet yield the self-same result. Fortunately, we are not without other options. I trust you haven't forgotten Inquisitor Guillaume? We have not. The mystery of how the heretic remained undiscovered for so long has been much in our thoughts, as has the question of what steps might be taken to prevent a similar breach of security in future. Accordingly, we conducted an exhaustive and covert evaluation of everyone in Whitebrim front. Though some were found to have committed certain minor transgressions, we identified only one possible heretic. This man has pledged himself to Iceheart's cause. He will have taken note of the movements of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Brave, and upon recognizing their intent, he may attempt to warn the heretic. The man's watch is to end soon, at which point he must report to Sir Jean Charmant and the yard. I would have you keep an eye on him. If he ventures beyond the walls, follow him discreetly. Should he meet with a heretic, do not interfere. Simply watch and listen. I have seen to it that the suspect knows nothing which would endanger our plans. So it says to her, it says... Suspected heretic leaves through the southwest gate. Don't get me started in the head, Bobs. It would take hours for me to stop complaining about it. Did I not? Okay. Supposed to heretic follows the road east. Hey, where in the seven hells are you? I'm freezing my bollocks off here. Think it might be a horror game, Jake? I'm here, you blundering oaf. Why are you late? Standing on the wall, why else? I have duties to fulfill, you know. Your sole duty is to the... Bloody echo. Lower your voice so they'll hear us on Whitebrim front. Yeah, yes, of course. The Temple Knights are mumble mumble, and the Snowcloak. This is what you bring to me? We already knew about mumble mumble. Our comrades in Boulder Downs will use the tunnels mumble mumble, dead before they know what's happening. Nevertheless, mumble mumble, if you waste my time again, is that clear? Well, did your investigation bear fruit? I see. To have the man detained at once, his guilt is plain. Would that you could have heard the words more clearly. Yet, the few snatches you were able to make out are nonetheless enlightening. It would seem the heretics are aware of our operation, and confident they can thwart it. Their comrades in Boulder Downs are key to their plans, which means it is key to our plans that they be rooted out and put to the sword. Oh, the Underdark? We long suspected the heretics use a network of secret tunnels to traverse the highlands undetected. Yet once you overheard, I fear the Snowcloak may be riddled with such passageways, and that the heretics in Boulder Downs are planning to use them to take our forces unawares. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to happen. Attention of House Durandare Knights are on patrol in the area, and I shall order them to begin searching for the heretics at once. Knowing nothing of our enemy's numbers or readiness, I cannot say for sure they will be sufficient. It would put my mind at ease if you would consent to assist my knights with the search. I know they would take courage from the presence of so storied a warrior. Make a rendezvous with them at Boulder Downs. If Helone is kind, we may catch these heretics before their plans come to fruition. Show them no mercy, Faedwin. The lives of our allies are at stake. It's a hostile presence! My knights send no word of you coming, Faedwin. What has happened? What is that in your hand? By the Fury, those were veterans with years of service. Now they lie dead in the snow. Their bodies must be recovered and... No, we have nothing men to spare. Not now. Not while Iceheart prepares to summon an abomination. The heretics he dispatched were not of sufficient number to contend with the combined strength of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves. There must be others, and I'll wager they're on the way of Snowcloak as we speak. To make matters worse, it seems the traitor you followed managed to pass the heretics something of value after all. The parchment you recovered is a timetable of the Guardsman's watches at our outpost of Snowcloak. The traitor was stationed there long before you aroused our suspicions. Would that we had caught him sooner. With this information, the heretics would know when the watch was weakest. They could use their tunnels with impunity and prepare their ambush. The timetable has not changed, you see. Of course, it will be changed now, but the heretics may already be in position. As Durandare must send reinforcements, even if it means withdrawing knights from the Stone Vigil. I could see no other way to safeguard the lives of our allies. Time is of the essence, Faedwin. While my knights make ready to depart, the heretics may take our allies and Snowcloak unawares. Superior training and equipment will avail them not if they are cut down ere their swords are drawn. But all's not yet lost. If you leave now, there may still be time to warn them. Make haste, I beseech you. Fly to Snowcloak and tell Sir Aymeric everything we have discovered. Faedwin, this is a welcome surprise. Perhaps the only one thus far. As you can see, we have yet to uncover any hidden... You have my gratitude. Truth be told, we suspected the heretics might be plotting such an attack. Now that we have confirmation, I shall place my knights on high alert. Has Commander Levalor been informed? The Braves must be made aware. It must be here, I'm certain of it. Why else would they go to such lengths to defend Snowcloak? It is but a pity this discovery comes when our enemy has us at such a disadvantage. Forewarned though we be, the heretics know the terrain far better than we. I dare not think how many are watching us at this very moment. Confound it, this is all wrong. Iceheart has us scrambling to save our own skins when we should rightly be straining every sinew to find her and stop this damnable summoning. There she is. Come here, girl. Oh, you done fucked up now. That was close. They didn't hurt you, did they? Only my pride, Ida. There will be others nearby. We must see that they are given a similarly warm welcome. Commander Levelure. There's been developments, sir. Together with the Temple Knights, we have secured the entrances to some half-dozen tunnels after spotting the enemy breaking the surface. But that's not all, sir. We think that one of them may be important. Certainly, the heretics near flung themselves upon our swords to defend it. Aha, just as I suspected. Amongst this warren of tunnels lies the entrance to Iceheart's lair. Some of the others were going in. Balls deep. A moment, Alphinaud. The tunnel in emphasis mine on the balls deep part. A moment, Alphinaud. The tunnel in question is barely wide enough for 2 men abreast. We cannot say any certainty where it leads, much less what is waiting for us there. Furthermore, we have no way of knowing how many heretics are still lurking here on the surface. What if they were to converge on this point after we enter the tunnel? For all we know, we could be funneling our forces into a trap. I take your point. If the tunnel is indeed as narrow as you say, greater numbers would be more a hindrance than a help. Should we encounter difficulty, our allies would become an obstacle to escape. A change of plans. While we rendezvous with Sir Aymeric and keep the heretics at bay here, you will go wherever that tunnel leads. If you find Iceheart at the end of it, do not let her escape. You venture into the unknown, so see to it you are prepared for everything. I suggest you call upon your allies, though not too many, or Papalymo will sulk. Oh, is this the fight here, like, right now? Okay, Stalwart Temple Knight, what do you have to say to me? Who the hell are you talking about? Who's this doctor? The entrance to the tunnel, madam, is just over there. Had we not seen the heretics breaking the surface, we would never have noticed it. For Sir Aymric's order was to stand guard outside. Please be aware that even should you encounter significant resistance, we cannot leave your post. Snowcloak, now accessible. So, is this... I can enter with a party of NPCs again? Yes! Oh my god. It's been so long since I've been able to do this. Yes! Yes! I'm not going to upset people because I don't know the mechanics. There's a Togetic in the Pokemon community game. One or more party members have yet to complete this duty. It's me! I'm the noob. This is really... This music is a change of pace. Breathtaking, the Conjurer says. And honestly, like, it's... I notice as I walk in, I'm hearing the music, and, like, I just smile, like, despite myself. It is really nice. I feel bad that I have to go kill things now. But that's really nice. You start with the guy before Tenet. Yeah, that was Eccleston. Yeah, I liked Eccleston more than Tennant, but I think the only one. Tried watching the older Doctor, but it was hard. Yeah, I ended up downloading some episodes at some point, and I watched what I could get a hold of. But I just kind of gave up because I was like, kind of what's the point of watching random episodes in decades of story, right? I'm just gonna get confused. Do the environmental hazards not hurt the enemies here? It's so strange, like how delicate the music is during this dungeon. Yeah, so I started Eccleston. I'm like season 2 of Capaldi and need to get back to it. But like I think last night or the night before I was like, "Hey babe, you want to get back to watching Doctor Who or you want to keep playing Tears of the Kingdom?" And like without looking up, my wife said Tears of the Kingdom. I was like, "All right." So we might not be watching any more Doctor Who until she finishes the game. Are you throwing your hands in the air? Are you a true player, Jake? Well, I did a pretty good job. Wanted Jodie for a bit now. I was worried how she was going to be received because people are horrible sometimes. So I don't know the conventional take on her. Was she like critically received well, or were people just like, "Not my doctor, can't have no woman being Doctor Who"? I felt like what they did with the Master was like kind of easing into that process. I mean, at the time, it was what, like a 50-year-old series, right? You may never watch Doctor Who again. Did a decent job. Alright, Wanda. What do you have for us? Oh, this is definitely not Doctor Who. But like the WandaVision was fantastic. I loved WandaVision. Are you cursed again, Hybrid? You're not Titan. What are you doing? Hold on, this thing's almost dead. So a furious purple polka-dotted walrus charges with unbridled intensity. Eyes burns determination while his flippers pound the ground in animated frenzy. Vibrant and restless, it oozes an abstract presence, embodying a storm of energy. With every step it thrusts out the calm, propelled by an overwhelming urge, vitality course through his veins. What the shit are you reading, Jake? Doctor Who was removed from Crave, but is being added to Disney Plus. Oh, I completely forgot about that. Nice. Oh, what the shit? Excuse me, sir? Did that Goobu just fall down from the cliff above? Or did it burst out of the ground? Okay, so it fell down. Yeah, so I was worried about Disney Plus. I was like, man, am I gonna have to cancel this whenever there's not like Star Wars stuff? Oh shit. I'm kind of taking a lot of damage actually. But yeah, with the amount of Star Wars stuff and Marvel stuff and Doctor Who coming, man. The Netflix password sharing finally hit you? What happened? Did they send the Pinkertons to your door? Thurs. How you doing, Thurs? Okay, so there's just environmental hazard aplenty. Is this just something I have to heal through, I guess? Yeah, what do they do? Were they just like, we observe that you're sharing your password. You can never have videos again. For people partying movies and series now. Bro, y'all gotta stop doing that. I don't know if Netflix is the reason why, oh, it's a Yeti! Look at it! Look at that thing! I don't know if Netflix is the reason for pirating and all. I would say it's the one-offs and all, like HBO. And, I don't know, like every TV station seems to have its own streaming service that no one wants. Like, I'm not interested in buying and paying for a subscription for every different series I watch. That's what they want to do. Oh, it's actually making snowballs. Oh, okay. That's neat. Get away from the giant snowball? What do I do? Not entirely sure. It's not dodgeable, but that second AoE from the snowball is. Okay. Alright, we shouldn't even get to this updrift. Just kidding. Interesting fight. Yo, please stop running in the way of the coffer. Thank you. Oh, there's a couple bombs. There's a couple bombs. Don't like that. You had ChatGPT write a romance story? Jake, why don't you go ahead and put that in Discord? I feel like that's going to be a lot. What is that? Hybrid gator? Yeah, it just like creeped into the side of my screen and I was like, excuse me? You could almost call him Two-Face. Waka waka waka. Well done, Vang. Okay, can we just leave the room? Is that a possibility? No, you must survive these million trials. That probably used to be a pain. What was he going to cast? Finger of the Apostate. Ew. Open the door to oblivion? Yeah, sure, why not? Oh, yeah, I saw him casting that. I was like, that seems like that's gonna be bad. For a second, I was like, Fenrir? No. It is! It is Fenrir! Puppy! Alright, maybe I'll just stick by the Conjurer, actually. That can't be trusted. Conjurer, make a move, man. You're my cheat sheet, in case you haven't figured it out. He moves forward. Seems like I don't want to be in front of that. Alright, Conjurer, where are we going this time, bud? Because I definitely screwed it up before. Where are you going? Where are you going? You going through there? Through there? There is a safe one. Alright, out of there. Follow the healer. Just move out of the cone. And then one more stalactite phase. I put a lot of faith in that animation canceling. That could have been bad. There we go. AI is cheating? Yeah, I noticed. I was like, let me see where it's gonna go. Oh, this thing's moving before it's even revealed. Yeah, the AI definitely started moving. I noticed in this run right here. I noticed that the AI started moving to the safe one before the AoEs even popped up on the ground. First time, no problem. Easy peasy. Goodbye, friends. Make sure you commend me.
The tales do not do you justice, warrior of light.
Oh, is that the Aetherite?
Yes, I know who you are, and you know who I am. I was given the name Izel, but I earned the name Iceheart. This endless cycle of hatred, of bloodshed, of sorrow. You would see it continue, O noble warrior of light. I would not. I will not. I will bring an end to this war between dragon and man, no matter the cost. In time, you will come to understand that what we do for the greater good. For Eorzea. For Hydaelyn.
Damn, I had to go through a dungeon to get to this Aetherite. That took longer than I expected. Fuck off, Alphinaud. Oh my god. What news, Faedwin? The Iceheart is but a pseudonym. Not that it matters. That she managed to escape is regrettable, but from your description of that beast, you did well to come as close as you did. In any case, now that you've cleared a path, the Temple Knights can begin to survey the tunnels in earnest. Mayhap they will even find a route past the ice wall. Wouldn't that do wonders for their fight against the heretics? Crystal Braves will certainly share the credit for it too. Well be praised, Faedwin. We may yet turn the situation to our advantage. Assuming we stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva, of course. Needless to say, our fellow Scions have not been idle. Minfilia and Urianger have been busy perusing the archives of House Fortin, gathering the information they can on Shiva. Which reminds me, if you were intending to trudge back to Camp Dragonhead to report on the day's events, don't. The antecedents should be here any minute. I can only assume some people enjoy subjecting themselves to this cold. Antecedent, you come to us straight from the archives of House Fortin. I trust your time there proved fruitful. Would that it had. Urianger and I scoured countless texts. What we found was of questionable veracity. Accounts of Shiva's life and deeds are sparse and contradictory, only agreeing upon one point. She lay down with a dragon, the gravest of all sins according to the Ishgardian faith. Yet in the eyes of Iceheart's followers, this was a holy act, a blessed union of man and dragon. How such a thing could even be possible is quite another question. Suffice it to say, I very much doubt that we will find a useful answer in the archives of House Fortin. Much knowledge has been lost over the centuries, though in this case, one wonders if it is by circumstance or design. You say that Iceheart took a moment to plead her case prior to escaping, did you not? Viewed without prejudice, one would agree that bringing an end to an endless war serves the greater good. I think Sir Aymeric might take issue with her methods. I do not care if a few stragglers manage to escape. Until the sappers confirm that a tunnel is safe, the men are not to search it. Yes, Lord Commander. You pursue your foes with less zeal than I expected, Sir Aymeric. Lest you misunderstand, I do not deny that our enemy has given us good reason to be prudent. I merely meant, you being a man of faith, that I had expected a certain single-mindedness. After all, was it not by the will of Helone that your ancestors came to this land? Why they took up arms against the Dravanians? What would they have done in your position, I wonder? There are those who believe that faith is a renunciation of free will, that unquestioning devotion is required of all who would live a life in service to the Fury. Such righteous fervor may well serve a knight on the front line, less so a leader of men. We are all at liberty to interpret the scriptures as we will. Choose to believe that the Fury would value the lives of her followers or the deaths of her enemies. But I would not presume to speak of the Knights of Eld. It was a different time, nay, a different era. The scripture tells us only so much. Would that it told us more. That man is awfully pragmatic for a servant of the Holy See. A welcome tray at the negotiating table, to be sure. Less so when one's enemies are making ready to harness the power of a god. Mayhap he does not truly believe that Iceheart's plans can succeed. Truth be told, I too remain somewhat skeptical. Shiva was real, a living, breathing woman. Of that there can be no doubt. In this respect she differs from every other figure that has been summoned, each of whom was worshipped as a god. Sole exception being good King Mogglmog XII, the myth made manifest in response to the fervent supplications of the Mogglesguard. Saint Shiva may differ, but what of the heretics? They are a tribe of outcasts at war with a mighty nation who yearn for the resurrection of one who embodies their beliefs. If that is not placing one's faith in a higher power, then what is? Crystals and conviction in Philia. They have them both in abundance. Can that truly be all that is required? My survey team has concluded a preliminary analysis of the aetheryte Iceheart used to escape. They believe that she teleported to another aetheryte, somewhere not far to the west. Despite the apparent proximity of this second aetheryte, however, they have been wholly unable to detect its presence directly. Unless Iceheart has some means to mask its signal, I can only presume she had it destroyed to prevent us from following her. Without the means to teleport as she did, we have no choice but to search for an alternate route, most likely a tunnel, assuming one exists. Let us not give up on teleportation just yet. One of our colleagues in Charlayan may be able to assist us. I pray that you are right. I dare not think how long it would take us to survey the entire tunnel system. While Menphilia looks into our Aetherite problem, I would like to request your assistance with another matter. The third unit is currently tracking the remnants of the heretic force which attacked us. However, the search goes poorly despite our numbers. Earth is vast, and Iceheart's followers know the terrain far better than we. Your knowledge of this region may serve to hasten the process. The sooner we capture Iceheart's followers, the sooner we can press them for their leader's whereabouts. Also, though it is admittedly a selfish request, I feel that my braves would benefit immensely from working alongside you. While we have our share of veterans, we also have more than a few less experienced recruits, many of whom look up to you, in case you are not aware. We don't like Alphinaud. We're very, very over his presence. So if you're an Alphinaud fan, get out! No. You're the kind of words, that's why I love range, because I know people can hands you XPs. Can't go direct right. I appreciate it, Blue Eyes. Yeah, I'm a licensed therapist, and so we also talk about mental health stuff a lot here as well. When we're not complaining about Alphinaud. Good, I knew you would understand. Your Yase can apprise you of the details. When the task is complete, come and find me at the observatorium. Captain Ishgard and I are meeting there to discuss the latest developments in his investigation. The Temple Knights shall hold Snowcloak in our absence. Let us leave them to their work. Ours is more pressing. Rage quitting is a requirement to be a streamer. Right? Okay, I guess a lot of people are doing that dungeon for the first time now. There you are, Faedwin. Commander Levelure instructed me to wait for you. Your assistance is most welcome, believe me. Most of the Third hail from Ul'dah, and for a man accustomed to the feel of sand beneath his boots, the crunch of snow can be rather disconcerting. But to the matter at hand, nary a moment ago I received word that the heretics we seek have been spotted making for Danifin Pass. My braves are already in pursuit, and I should be grateful if you would join them. I myself should be taking part in the hunt. Never let it be said that I do not earn my coin. How embarrassing. I was so intent on following the heretics' tracks that I almost failed to notice that they had doubled back. Almost, mind you. One tried to sneak up behind me and got a knife in the gut for his troubles. I thought myself alone as I started searching the dead man's knapsack for anything of interest. Lo and behold, before his friends found me, I came upon this. Withdraw in groups of 3 or less to the observatorium. Give the signal and wait. The merchant will be watching. Be late and be left for dead. Speaks for itself, does it not? They can't possibly mean to rendezvous inside the place. We should restrict our search to the surrounding areas. Let me rephrase that. You should restrict your search to the wilderness outside the observatorium. I need more than a moment's rest to recover from these wounds. I am through with listening to your excuses. We leave now. How? The woods are crawling with those bluecoats, and the knights are searching every wagon that passed through the gates. Well, stay with her, then, if you think you'll fare any better. Now, there's no need for that. Pretty sweet. Drive them bitches. Pretty sweet. Good one. There are places like this in my homeland, sacred snow-capped peaks where blood must not be shed. Yet your lands ever thirst for the blood of the fallen. By your deeds it is drunk deep. No, I have done no wrong. None but meet in secret. Heretics. Deny it all you will. We shall have the truth from you yet. Inquisitors are not the only ones skilled in the art of interrogation. Damn it all! Fancy meeting you here, Faedwin. I presume your work with the Third brought you hither. What a tangled web. Lest you wonder, we came not for the heretics, but for the merchant who has been conspiring with them. It came to our attention during the course of our investigation into the Ivy. It beggars belief, I know, but it seems our favorite Garlean spy may have been providing assistance to Iceheart. Were it not for the efforts of Lady Yugiri and her shinobi, we might never have been discovered this connection. Master Alphinaud is too kind. I fear my people have done little to aid your search for the spy. We long to strike back against the Empire and weaken their influence in this land. Prevent this tragedy which befell Toma from reoccurring. The days ahead and the work they promise will require a very particular set of skills which I am fortunate enough to possess. If you will allow it, I would accompany you to the investigation is complete. It is the most general offer, Lady Yugiri, the one in which I will gladly accept. Thank you, though I may disappear for a time, know I shall never be far, and shall always be watching. A comforting thought. Come, Fadewind, let us wait for the Captain Ilbert to return and deliver his report. I need to unlock Ninja. I can not level it. Distractions. Captain Ilbert seems confident that the merchant's resolve would swiftly crumble when pressed. If so, we should have new information ere long. As to whether it would bring us any closer to learning the Ivy's identity, I would rather not say. Given our adversary's cunning, I shall consider us fortunate if we are spared another wild dodo chase. The gods know we have more than enough to occupy our time as it is. Captain Ilbert, your report, if you will. Aye, Commander. Firstly, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say that the man could tell us naught that we did not already know of Shiva. We have since handed him over to the Ishgardian authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Our inquiries concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquire their information on the shipment routes. Go on. You will recall the flame we first identified as being in the Ivy's employ. From him, we were able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end. Fearing that the investigation had been compromised, we took the necessary step of detaining all suspected of conspiracy. There were 5 on our list, including a flame stationed at Revenant's Toll. The man's primary duty was to keep an inventory of donations from abroad, the particulars of which he would share with benefactors, thereby ensuring that needs did not go unfulfilled. By virtue of his role, he was privy to the details of all the shipments bound for the settlement. Needless to say, that included those originating from House Forton. He knew the precise route the caravan would take, and he sold that information to a merchant. I think I can guess which one. None other. With a little encouragement, he soon confessed to knowingly aiding and abetting the heretics. Well, that is one mystery solved at least, but what of the Ivy? Are we any closer to prizing off his mask? I dare say we are, Commander. Our relentless pursuit of him has forced him to commit a grave error. In a desperate bid to cover his tracks, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available only to high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. If you consider, then, that our investigation is known to barely a handful of them, the field of suspects is greatly narrowed. You mean to say that the agent is among Raban's innermost circle, someone who has been with him since the Immortal Flames' establishment? It is the most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork for the act being laid beforehand. Slip into a position of authority unremarked and remain above suspicion all these years. I too was surprised. I really should not have been. Of the 3 grand companies, Old Daz was ever the more vulnerable to infiltration. Well, Limsa and Gridania have long-standing armed forces that lent themselves well to the formation of Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder. For all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones, mind, under the same leadership. Only the banner was different. Not so the Flames. Old Daz's military was made up of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies that answered only to their own paymasters. Hardly an ideal environment in which to establish something as high-minded as a grain company. The difficulties Raban faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he had convinced the fellow syndicate members to share the cost, it remained the small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Indeed, and given the pressing nature of the Imperial threat, that meant recruiting every passing sellsword. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company. A good deal easier than now, aye. The Immortal Flames have ever been caught between conflicting interests, the public and the private. Though the monitors ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, it was not out of charity that they did so, but simply self-preservation. Had Neov and Darnus's ambitions been any less apocalyptic, you may be sure that they never would have risked supplying Raban with an army. It is but a wonder that they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Returning to the present. Even as we speak, our Doman allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames, any one of whom could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a blow against the Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from there along. Very good. Pray continue your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, I have the second to attend to the unrest. The third can join the fourth in inspecting crystal shipments. If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in like manner to the other primals, the heretics will be looking for further supplies. Understood, Commander. I shall send word to Sir Aymeric informing of our success in identifying the heretics' abettors. Hopefully the information will be of some use to the Ishgardians. It's time, Commander. Yes, I am aware. An emergency council of the Alliance leadership has been called. There have been developments in Garlemald, it would seem. As Commander of the Crystal Braves, my presence has been requested. I would have you accompany me, Phaedwin. As the realm's stoutest champion, it is only meet that you should be present for the discussion. Oh, and the antecedent has already given her consent, lest you worry. Like me, you are doubtless eager to conclude our business with Iceheart, but until another path to her sanctum is found, she shall remain beyond our reach, and Philly and the Archons are sparing no effort to secure an alternate route. Until such a time as they succeed, I suggest we give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall go ahead to Gridania in readiness for the coming council. Meet me at Nufka's altar, and we shall make our way to the Lotus Stand together. My thanks for coming. When you are ready, speak with the conjurer yonder. She will show us the Lotus Stand. The Alliance leaders await you at the Lotus Stand. Will you be joining them now? Voiced scene? There are lots of people there.
Change has come to the Garlean Empire, and we must discuss the implications.
The rumors are true, then? The War of Succession is ended?
It is. A new emperor reigns in Garlemald.
Who?
The birth and all too rapid expansion of the Garlean Empire is commonly attributed to the strategic brilliance of Solus Zosgalvis, yet he did not rule alone. Several members of the royal household also distinguished themselves during his reign. Nevertheless, it was the eldest son who stood to inherit the throne, until his most untimely passing.
I thought us fortunate when I learned that the Emperor had died without naming a successor.
Would that the Garlean Empire had died with him.
'Twas the grandson and his uncle who had the strongest claims, was it not?
Indeed, yet claims count for little without the power to assert them. High Legatus Varus Ye Galvus is a respected military leader, not so his uncle.
So So, young Varus has torn the crown from his uncle's grasp and taken his place at the head of the Empire.
Given the troubled nature of his succession, the new emperor will require time to seal his grip on power. Yet have no doubt but that he shall, for there are none left with strength enough to oppose him.
Since the success of Operation Archon, the remnants of the 14th Legion and the forces occupying Alamigo have done naught but fortify their positions. But you can be sure they'll be ready to march on us again, if their Emperor gives the word.
When, not if. They say this Varus was so set upon Eorzean annexation that he spoke out against the Meteor Project.
Plainly, the new emperor's intentions are of great concern to us all. I propose that we set aside the Kortrah dispute for the present, and discuss what measures the Alliance might take to prepare for a resumption of hostilities with Garlemald. Moreover, I move that we re-examine the question of how our former allies in Ishgard might be persuaded to retake their place at our side. Could Eorzea but stand as one, 'twould deal a grave blow to our enemies' ambitions.
Well, I suppose we should be grateful that they have finally acknowledged the inevitability of Imperial attack. Who knows? They may even do something about it. If only the leaders of Ishgard would follow their example and stop hiding behind their gates, praying for the coming storm to pass them by. But that is a discussion for another time. At present, I am more concerned by the fact that the Alliance's mooted preparations will be made known to the Garleans many moons before their coming. So long as the ivy eludes our grasp, no secret is safe.
It would not have escaped your notice that the nations of Eorzea are no nearer to being of one purpose, despite their protestations to the contrary. Plainly, the threat of resurgent Garlemald is not enough to stir them. The reason for this? Deep-rooted mistrust amongst the citizenry. The nation's leaders can come to all the understandings they like, but their unity means little and less to the common folk. Take the Leminsons, for instance. Though Admiral Merva outlawed piracy over a decade ago, foreigners still picture the nation as a haven for grog-swilling, wood-legged cutthroats. And likewise, the Gridanians are mocked as hermits who talk to trees, and the Odans scorned as swindlers who worship coin. Not that such sentiments are entirely without grounds, of course. Take that pillar of Odan society to Adeleji, for example. But that is beside the point. The fact is that people are wary of outsiders, whether they cause to or not. On that basis, one could argue that the conflict at Kortrah is a necessary evil. Each nation has its own warmongering faction that advocates the acquisition of Omega. In order to placate them, we present them with something resembling warfare, and thereby curb their appetite for full-scale conflict. But enough idle musing. Let us speak of a more pressing matter, the Ivy. Since we spoke of the Observatorium, Captain Ilbert has further shortened his list of suspects, and by happy coincidence, the one he deems the most likely candidate is lately come to Gridania. The hunt nears its end, Faedwin. All that remains is to corner our quarry. Seek out Ilbert near the Adder's Nest. He will give you the particulars. Should there be any developments in Korthis, you may be sure that I will send word without delay. In the meantime, I wish you success in apprehending the Ivy. Yeah, they really went on conveying him as evil. Right? Like, the only thing they were missing is, like, showing him kicking a baby. But he spat on a grave. On a coffin, which I guess is, like, the other end of the spectrum. So. But thanks for coming, Scion. Doubtless the commander has informed you, but we have unmasked the Ivy. At this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. Listen well. The spy we have been seeking all this time is none other than Flame Marshal Eileen Roy? Eileen. Come on, Eileen. Raban's second in command. Prior to joining the Immortal Flame, she was a mercenary of no small renown. They say her skill with a polearm had to be seen to be... Oh, it's her? Ishgardian Burst, she is the highest ranked foreigner in the Immortal Flames. She's like always been there. Barring the Flame General himself, of course. When he formed the Grand Company, Raban chose people based on their worth. Whence they hailed was no interest. The monitors saw things differently, however. Making fun of the enterprise, they reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranking positions. It was no secret that they did not favor foreigners, Ishgardians especially, after the way the Holy See forsook the Alliance. Yet the monitors did not raise so much as a murmur of protest when Rual was appointed to her post. Passing strange, is it not? Could it be that the Ivy has some hold over the monitors? These revelations are secondary to our current mission. Of foremost interest to us is Rual's presence here now. As you may be aware, it is the duty of the Flame Marshal to command Mortal Flames in the absence of the Flame General. When Raban attended the Council of Alliance Leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has no business being in Gridania, yet here she is nonetheless, on some pretense. She's up to something, mark my words. Even as we speak, I have a dozen men trawling the Flames' records for evidence of Rual's guilt. So if we can catch her red-handed, we shall have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have people watching the city gates, the airship landing, and the docks, every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. All that remains is how to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Can I rely upon your eyes, Scion? You have my thanks. Let us go then, and take care not to alert our quarry. You seriously just went over here? Seems that way. Oh, let's head in the direction of the Blue Badger Gate. With me, Scion. Stop disappearing! Such an unexpected pleasure. What brings you here? A social visit, you say? How pleasant. She didn't come this way. I've noted every passenger, and none bore any resemblance. Well, don't let me keep you. Nowhere to be seen, you say? You're sure she did not board an airship? She didn't come back out either. Where the seven hells could she have gone? The Roost! How could I forget? Greetings, good sir. Might I interest you in some Muntai tonic? Cup a day imbues a man with a great vigor, if you take my meaning. Perhaps another time, friend. Wait, that necklace. You're a shinobi of Doma. The woman you seek has left Gridania by way West Shore Pier. She was attired as a merchant, but these eyes are not so easily deceived. You may wish to take your search to the East Shroud. Rest assured that we shall continue to support you from the shadows. Nice! Think the 12 for the Domans, were it not for their unique talents, Roll would have disappeared without a trace. Our hunt leads us to the East Shroud, Scion. I suggest we follow Raw's example and take to the ferry of West Shore Pier. You doubtless wish to make certain preparations. See to them while I go on ahead. I shall wait for you at Sweet Bloom Pier. This way, my friends. Oh, so my outfit is coming together nicely now. Yukori makes for the Hawthorne Hut. If Rahl is truly the one we seek, we expect that she means to make contact with her Garlean masters there. Explanation is in order. You are no doubt aware that the Garleans have their own method of communicating over great distances. Well, our ingenious friends at Garland Ironworks have provided us with a device which disrupt these communications, but we've installed them around the city-states. In doing so, we have made it difficult for Imperial agents to correspond with their masters. Rahl would thus have no choice but to rendezvous with her Imperial contact directly. Yet as a well-known face in the Immortal Flame, she could not move about Thanlin without being recognized. It would only be a matter of time before someone saw through her disguise. For this reason, I believe, she has chosen the Black Shroud for her clandestine meeting. Yell isn't our common sight here, and her comings and goings are not like to turn any heads. As my scouts tell it, the Garleans have sent agents with a mind to destroy the devices and render such direct contact unnecessary. Fortunately, our shinobi have thus far been successful in rebuffing their efforts. This is it, when you only make for Hawthorne's hut and catch Rahl in the act. That was awesome. My people report that our quarry has departed for the Bramble Patch. The Ivy returns to the Gnarls whence she came. Perhaps it is all for the better. To convict someone of her standing, we will require damning evidence against her. What could be better than to catch her in the act when she meets with her Garlean masters? A countryman and I shall lie in wait in the shadows. Tread warily, my friends. Just beyond, Rahl is in conversation with an individual clad in the manner of an adventurer. An Imperial intermediary, no doubt. Right, Rhino? It's a cabbage whenever you're, when you ride on land, but it switches to cake whenever you're flying. This is it, with me. Did I get fishnet with that new outfit? I'm pretty sure I have fishnet now. Lane Marshal Lane Rahl, you're under arrest for treason and espionage. We were followed, you bloody fool. Damnation. Oh yeah, those badass ninjas. You are unarmed, my lady, and scarcely guard for battle. But if you wish to fight, you are welcome to try. What is the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the Twelveswood? When last I looked, that was no crime, and neither was conversing with passing strangers. You would feign ignorance, then. Very well. If you do think of something to say, there will be plenty of time to say it later. Now come quietly, or I shall make you wish you had. I will offer you no struggle. After all, I have naught to hide. Even a warrior of Ral's renown could not have hoped to escape by force. Despite her claims, her surrender does not bespeak innocence, but an awareness of her position is untenable. With the ivy thus uprooted, it is to be hoped that the tendrils she entwined around the immortal flames will gradually wither and die. Mayhap then the people of Ul'dah will have the grand company they deserve. Let us speak the present. Let me ask, what will we do now, Faedwin? The Scions seek a way into Iceheart's sanctum. I dare say you are eager to return to the Rising Stones. Pray do not let me keep you. Fear not, my countrymen and I shall tend to the aftermath. You need not waste your talents here. Speaking of talents, have you considered training in the art of shinobi? I have! You have the aptitude for it, I believe, so please give it some thought. Till next time, my friend. Welcome back, Faedwin. I understand that Alphinaud has a task for you. May I ask what it was? Charges of treason and espionage against Selene Royal. I could scarce believe it. Could there not have been some manner of a misunderstanding? No, it avails us not to dwell on it. Whatever the truth may be, we must trust the authorities to uncover it. Let us speak of another matter. I am pleased to report that we have made progress in our efforts to find a way into Iceheart's sanctum. More JoJo, almost finished with part 4. You talking about Stone Ocean or something else? Stone Ocean, right? As you may recall, Iceheart used the Aetheryte in the depths of Snowcloak to teleport a short distance to the west, most likely to a sanctuary of some description. It is there that we suspect she means to summon Shiva using the crystal she stole from the House Forton caravan. The heretics believe that they are bringing about the second coming of their patron saint, but if, as we suspect, they mean to hold a summoning ritual of the kind employed by the beast tribes, it seems likely that the result will be something more akin to a primal. Suffice it to say, they must be stopped. Stop them we shall, but first we must surmount the obstacle that Iceheart has placed in our path. Ordinarily, it would be a simple matter to tap into established Ethernet, and thereby follow our quarry. However, despite our best efforts, we have been unable to ascertain the position of the Aetheryte to which she teleported. Our prevailing theory is that she destroyed the second Aetheryte upon arrival, a reckless, desperate measure, but also an effective one. After discussing the matter at length with Urianger, we have concluded that we lack the expertise to develop a solution, which is why we have called upon the aid of one who does possess such expertise, a colleague of ours who is currently en route to Revenant's Toll from Charlayan. She should be arriving within the hour, in fact. Since you are here, mayhap we could welcome her together. I am certain she would appreciate the gesture. Let us make our way to the northern gates and await her coming. Diamond is unbreakable. Okay. You and that wiki reading, just like my wife. Like, stop reading it, watch it. It's happening right now. But I mean, like, especially with JoJo, I think it's really hard to not get sidetracked and read a little further than you intend to.
Minfilia, am I right?
Oh, hello.
None other. I bid you welcome to Revenant's Toll, and to thank you for traveling so far on such short notice.
As if I could ever say no to Urianger.
Moenbryda
You're right,
is an
Boxy.
accomplished Charlian scholar and an authority on Aetherite technologies. She has played an invaluable role in our search for a means to capture Ascian souls.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Oh my god. Look at Look at the height difference. Look at the height difference. I promise I'm not trying to like pan the camera up. I'm so sorry. Like that probably looks really weird. This is crazy. Big lady, yes. Let's return to the Rising Stones at once then. We have much to discuss. Well, I've fallen in love with the big lady.
Moon! Gods, it's been ages!
Oh, longer, sister.
A joyous reunion indeed.
Well, of course it is. Moon and I are like twin sisters.
Save in appearance and aptitude.
Everyone, if I could have your attention. We have with us an esteemed guest who has come from Sharlayan to assist us. I bid Moenbryda join us here that she might share with us her extensive knowledge of aetherites. Also, as many of you are already aware, she has been overseeing our research into white auracite, a sample of which she has been good enough to bring with her.
Well, I had to come, didn't I? You'd have to be bloody daft to turn your nose up at a chance like this. Where better to conduct my final tests than a land so steeped in ether you can taste it?
'Tis plain the passage of the years hath done little to dampen thy youthful spirits, and nothing at all to reform thy youthful manner.
Oriange, where in the hells have you been hiding?
Unhand me.
I come all this way, and that's what you have to say to me. I much preferred when you were pleading with me to drop everything and hurry to your side. What was it you said? None save thee can satisfy this need.
Oh, fuck.
Thine artless attempts to misrepresent mine all too innocent motives do thee little credit. Mine intent, as well thou knowest, was but to impress upon thee the gravity of the circumstance. Lest thou doubt, a deiform entity shall shortly be summoned, save if thou and no other grantest my compeers thine aid.
You still haven't found it then, your missing aetherite?
We have not. No.
Send a link in Discord, Boxy.
We know that Iceheart teleported to an aetherite not far from the first. Yet even after careful analysis, we could not locate a second beacon. We now suspect that the heretics destroyed the second aetherite to impede our pursuit. Our allies continue to scour Snowcloak for Iceheart's sanctuary, but we have no guarantee that they will find it. Yet it must be found, for even now Iceheart prepares to call upon Saint Shiva.
I'm sorry, but if the aetherite's been destroyed, then that's that. Although, you're absolutely sure she used the first aetherite, are you? She didn't just use teleportation magics?
One of our own bore witness to her escape. I can say with absolute certainty that Iceheart used the aetherite.
In that case, there might be a way, so long as the ethereal current is still flowing.
Nice, hybrid.
Truly? How?
We use the current to recreate the beacon. As you know, Aetherites are a bit like lighthouses. We use them to reconstitute our physical forms when crossing the ethereal sea. Without them, we'd lose all sense of direction and our essence would dissipate. However, we don't rely solely on these beacons. There are currents of ether which flow between them, currents which help guide us to our destination. Now, these currents will gradually dwindle away to nothing if an Aetherite is destroyed. But if even a sluggish flow remains, we could theoretically use it to direct a surge of concentrated ether towards the void left by the beacon, and thereby fill it up again.
Like opening the floodgates to fill a dry riverbed. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, but would we not need a veritable reservoir of ether?
In concert, we might manage to channel a sufficient volume, yet that is not my chief concern. To direct the flow of so great a volume of ether with the requisite precision would be a nigh impossible task, and it's...
I barely succeeded in facilitating travel to an unattuned beacon. That which you describe sounds considerably more difficult.
Thank you.
And dangerous. Every person who has attempted to teleport in this fashion has died in the process. They, however, did not have white aura sight at their disposal. I can use it to channel all the ether you can give me into the Aetherite. However, white aura sight cannot retain ether for an extended period of time, so we would need to infuse it immediately beforehand. Just so you know, I'd confidently give this plan better than even odds of success. And if the worst comes to worst, your people won't suffer.
Though it risk the lives of our best and brightest, we have not the time to seek other options. If the ethereal current still flows, we shall carry out Moenbryda's plan.
That's the spirit. Let's roll the dice.
I've already informed Alphinaud of our plan to recreate the beacon in the manner Moenbryda described. He agreed that despite the inherent danger, it represents our only hope of success. He also said that he wished to meet you at Snowcloak before proceeding. I expect you will find him waiting for you there when you arrive. I want you to know that I appreciate everything you have done on our behalf, Edwin, and that I have faith that you will return to us as you always have. Captain Ilber sends the regards, by the way. He attends the interrogation of Elian Raal and Uldai, even as we speak. I shall not distract you from the matter at hand. We can discuss the ivy upon your return. I trust that by which I mean to say, the others are waiting for us at the Aetherite. After you, Scion. Rhino, please Discord me that, because I tried that with StreamerBot and it worked in a test, and then live it did not. Still have a ways to go for Shiva Lady. Ah. But we like Moenbryda, right? Earth, fire, wind, water, heart. Give Moenbryda all of your love. Palm top. Let's do it. There, it's ready. Playing two or three games that include Breath of the Wild. I love that for you, Hybrid. I'm very happy for you. I will play Tears of the Kingdom. I promise. Ha, it worked, I think. Try tuning to the Aether right now. Feel for the current and try to locate the beacon. We have done all we can, Fadewind. For now, let us withdraw. When your final preparations are complete, you must seek out the beacon we have created. If, by the grace of the 12, you arrive safely, you must stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva. Alphinaud has this thing where he's like... It's just drives me crazy. We cannot ignore the possibility that our actions have alerted Iceheart to our plans. Should that be the case, she may attempt to hasten the completion of the summoning ritual. If she succeeds, you will have little choice but to face Shiva in battle. Knowing little of this saint, I cannot say if your own strength will suffice, and so I would encourage you to call upon your allies. Some may have reservations about wagering their lives on the success of Moenbryda's experiment, but others will surely agree that desperate times call for desperate measures. Before you assemble your party, pray speak with that knight. I believe he has a message for you from St. Aymeric. Sir Aymeric. Wait, it sounds like it's the fight, though. Put a meme Discord meme channel at me? Okay. Yes, I concur. Also, that duo in that series was delightful to watch. Madame Cermic regrets that he could not be here in person as I read to you this letter. Ishgard faces an unprecedented threat. In our hour of need, it is not her knights who stand poised to defend her. Favorite fortune is the warrior of light, savior of Eorzea. Your deeds this day shall not be forgotten. Where others would flee, you choose to remain. Where others would falter, you rise to the challenge. Where others would use their gifts for selfish ends, you wield yours in service to a greater cause. May Helone bless you with good fortune and see you safely home. Thank you.
You should never have come here, warrior of
Safi,
light.
come on.
I labor only to forge a lasting peace. A peace you would deny us out of ignorance and blind faith. No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then it is mine to strike you down. We whom gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance. Partake of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more. Oh, Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
Yeah. This is pretty sick looking. Alright, so Safi is ready to laugh for some reason. Oh, your portrait looks awesome. There goes... Oh, wait, okay, hold on. Oh my god, Vang is murdering. Look at them just drop. That's not diamond dust, is it? Oh man. And this is her tank? Thanks, Fang. Thank you for the carry. I'm sure I'll be doing these down the road through roulette. But just the wait time to get it going when it's in the way of everything else in the game is just crazy. So I appreciate the help. Your tank is a work in progress. Always liked Red Mage.
Fool. Blind, bloody fool. You, of all people, should understand the suffering war begets. That no sacrifice is too great if it brings an end to the violence. Mine is the righteous cause. You fight in a war you do not understand. A pawn of liars and schemers. And they are no less ignorant than you, following the creed of their fathers without question, never thinking to ask why. Trapped in a delusion of their own creation, and blind to the truth.
Thank you, Vang.
Warrior of light, redemption is not beyond us. We who walk before may lead those who walk after. Seek the keeper of the lake. See with eyes unclouded. Do not squander a mother's gift. Hear, feel, think.
What? I don't want to bug you during your stream. I appreciate you.
And so the vessel withdraws, a predictable outcome. Nevertheless, La Habrea will be pleased. How unfortunate.
By the 12, you're alive. I mean, of course you're alive. Why wouldn't you be? Iceheart did what? And you're certain about that, are you? Dravanians are skilled with the glamours after all. Look, if you say that's what you saw, I believe you. It's just I've never heard of a primal being summoned like that before. Are you sure you're not injured? Head trauma has been known to cause hallucinations, you see. No? Fair enough. I was only asking. If you ask me, there's not to be gained from mulling over the implications of your story in the freezing cold. Let's save it for the Rising Stones, eh? I'll get everyone to meet us there. Before that, you best pay a visit to Wiper in front and speak with Alphinaud. He's probably worried sick about you. That or he's busy playing at politics with the Ishgardians. Either way, I'm sure you'll be delighted to see you hale and healthy. Speaking of which, you don't have a headache or anything, do you? No? Blurred vision? Oh, no reason. See you again soon. Okay, what is our proximity to completing to Heavensward starting? Like if it's like just like 2 or 3 quests away, that's significantly different than like you got like an hour to go, you know? So if it's if it's like super close, I'll keep going. Otherwise, I'll save this for later, because I can't... I mean, we just fought Shiva, right? So... Can't be much further. Wait, what is... Wait, do I have a tail covering now? And the tail goes... My tail is arcing up now? Wait a second. What are these clothes doing to me? Is that like a corset for my tail? Like what is that? What has happened with my body? Like, am I misremembering? I thought my tail went down, and now it's all... Hold on, I can figure this out pretty easily, right? Yes! What is up with that? These things happen when you get excited. Safi dreams. No. No. Look, tail right there. Look at my majestic, wonderful tail. Like the day I was born. And then I put on this even star coat. What is going on with it? I am not that aroused, I assure you. No. I hate with that. How did I just notice this? "27 more main storyline quests to Heavensward. 16 of those are probably just running errands for Alphinaud at the grocery store. You've been talking about it? You've been talking about my outfit over there for the last 30 minutes? Are you serious? Are you serious? I just noticed. No way. Oh my god. Okay, I'm getting out of here. I cannot believe y'all been staring at my tail this entire time. We just figure you like the erect tail? Oh my god. Thank y'all so much for hanging out.